Number one, there shall be 6 lessons per day. There shall be 6 lessons per day and 1 PPI per week, cumulatively, adding up to 31 lessons per week. Right? So the valid timetable shall have 6 lessons per day. So having less than 6 lessons or more than 6 lessons, that makes your timetable not official. Right? So after this, I want you to go and check your timetable whether it follows these guidelines. Number 2, or number B, each lesson shall be 30 minutes. Each lesson shall be 30 minutes. There is a private school that I went. That was last year. Then I interacted with their timetable. Would you believe that all the lessons were running for 1 hour, right from preschool all the way to grade 9? All right? Each lesson was running for a record 1 hour. And everybody, even young children, were forced to come to school very early in the morning. By 7 a.m., everybody was in class, being taught. To mean that those students came to school as early as 6:30, right? So the Ministry of Education has guided us that each lesson should be 30 minutes. And when we say 30 minutes, this is applicable to all private and public schools. It doesn't change when we go to private schools, isn't it so? So don't tell me that, the director or the manager or the owner of the school has forced us to teach learners for 1 hour or even 35 minutes. That is wrong. Now, listen to this. Number 3, the Ministry of Education has guided us that reporting time for grade 1 to 3 in primary schools should be at 8 a.m. Did you know that? Yeah? The Ministry of Education must give guidelines. If they are not given guidelines, people will have to do according to what they feel. We have people who are business oriented and they become over-ambitious. So if the Ministry of Education does not give guidelines, you can be sure that, schools would be operating as early as 5 a.m. So the Ministry of Education has guided us that reporting time for grade 1 to 3 in primary schools should be at 8 a.m. Number 4, or number D, lessons in all schools across the country shall start at 8:20 a.m. Lessons in all schools across the country should start at 8:20 a.m. Though I'll give you some exceptions later on at the conclusion of this training. So, the Ministry of Education is a very organized, it's a very organized department. Just like we have the start times when we are doing the national examination, like KCSE and other assessment. What time do we sit for the lessons? I mean, for those papers? At what time? Yeah? 8 what? And it should be across the country, isn't that so? Yes. So likewise, the government has said that lessons in all schools across the country should start at 8:20 a.m. That is for lower primary, that is for grade 1, 2, 3. Now, you may ask yourself, what do we do between 8 and 8:20 a.m.? Now, if the learners are appearing, are reporting to school at 8, and they are going to class at 8:20. So what do they do between 8 to 8:20? Do we have some guidelines? We have some guidelines, is it not so? Now, the time between 8 to 8:20 should be utilized for the following. Number one, health check. Number two, health check. Number two, roll call. And number three, assembly. Police, we have been guided that we utilize that time to check their health. I want you to know that young children are very vulnerable to illness. A little change in weather can make them sick. Is it that? Is that the case? Yeah? It can make them sick. So don't pretend as if you are teaching a sick child. You know, a child who is not feeling well should be sent home for treatment. All right? And I want you to be guided that you are not supposed to do that without the knowledge of the head of the institution. So every child who is not feeling well should be reported to them, to the head teacher or even the deputy. And then necessary arrangements should be made. Their parents or guardians can be called for attention. Right? So you colleagues who are teaching grade 1, 2, 3, don't forget that we have health check. The same case we have health check in pre-primary. Right? If you have ever taught pre-primary, you bear me witness that the first business of the day when children report to school is to do what we call what? Free choice activities. You know, when they come, and maybe the teacher has not arrived, learners will do as they please. They just choose what to do. That's why you call free choice activities, right? So a valid and appropriate timetable for preschool must begin with free choice activities. After free choice activities, we have health check. So in grades 1, 2, 3, free choice activities have been removed. So the first business of the day is what we call health check. Right? And when I talk about health check, I not only mean that you have to check whether they are sick or not, you can even check their cleanliness, personal grooming. I think that is part of health. It's not so. So use that time to check. Use that time to mark the roll call. Gone are the days when we would go to class and, we mark the register at the expense of a lesson. That is running for 30 minutes. Can you imagine what would happen if you can use 10 minutes, marking the register? Suppose you have a class that has a lot of learners, 80 number. By the time you finish, you are done marking the register. Time is going. So that's all. Now, when plotting lessons on the timetable, the committee should ensure that learning areas with similar skills, knowledge, or concepts do not follow one another. Let me repeat. When you are plotting lessons on the timetable, ensure that, I am not addressing the committee. The committee should ensure that learning areas with similar skills, similar concepts, similar knowledge do not follow each other. I once went to a certain secondary school and I wanted to see what they were doing on their timetable. It was on a Wednesday. The first lesson in the morning was mathematics. After mathematics, it was physics. After physics, it was chemistry. After chemistry, it was biology. That is wrong. Those are learning areas of similar skills, similar orientation. All right? So the Ministry of Education has guided us that learning areas of similar skills and orientation should not follow. Can you imagine what would happen if some learners are not very good in sciences? So after mathematics is physics, after physics is chemistry. Those are learning areas of similar orientation. If it is volume, we have volume in mathematics. We also have volume in chemistry. And also in physics, isn't that so? If it is capacity, it is cutting across. So such a learner would feel that you are punishing them. Right? Likewise to languages. We cannot have Kiswahili after English, or English after Swahili. So after this, it is my expectation that you will go back to your schools and do corrections where necessary. All right? So let us get these things right. Point number. There should be no double lesson on the timetable. There should be no double lesson on the timetable whatsoever. Right? So there should not be any reason for you being in class for the same lesson 2 times consecutively. That is wrong. Another point, creative activities lesson should be plotted before break. It is an irregularity to plot creative arts after break. So let us be guided that all the creative arts should be plotted before break. Now, another point. Health breaks should be provided after every 2 lessons, where the first break should be 10 minutes and the second break should be 30 minutes. Let me repeat. Health break should be provided after every 2 lessons. So this time round, in the CBC timetable, we do not have 3 lessons following each other. We can only have 2 lessons, then we have health break. Is it not so? After health break, we have what? 2 lessons again. So we don't have more than 2 lessons following each other. Right? Interestingly, there is one of the schools that I visited, and they had a very inappropriate timetable. I don't even know how they got 7 breaks. Imagine, throughout the day, they had 7 breaks. A lesson, enough break. After lesson, there was another break. That happens, and if you have to prove me right, I even took a snap of the timetable. It is here. I record 7 breaks in a day. All right? That is very wrong, and it should not happen. Now, let's now talk about the lesson distribution. The lesson distribution per learning area for grades 1 to 3. Number 1, we have indigenous language activities. How many lessons have been allocated per week? 2, right? And we must teach indigenous language activities. Let it not just appear on the timetable. Then number 2, we have, and by the way, I want us to get it right. Do we have Kiswahili in grades 1, 2, 3? Do we have Kiswahili? Yes. How many say yes? Would I be a hand? How many say no? Just as I have said, I'll ask if we have Kiswahili. Do you have Kiswahili? In grades 1, 2, 3. Put up your hand. All right. Do we have English? Huh? What do we have? Madam, just tell us, just stand up. Let me request you to stand up to tell us. Tell them what we have. Just stand up. We have language activities. All right. Somebody else? What do we have? I've talked about English and Kiswahili. What do we have in law primary?
English language activities.
English? Pardon?
Shughuli za lugha ya Kiswahili and English language activities.
All right. Thank you very much. We do not have English, all right? And we do not have Kiswahili. Let us get it right. Let me take you back to pre-primary. I'll ask another question. Do we have English and do we have Kiswahili in pre-primary? No. What do we have? Huh? What do we have? All right. We have language. We have language activities in preschool. All right. Then these language activities has been broken into two. Have been broken into two. Let me write here. I have said in pre-primary we have language. So in the law of primary, it has been broken into two. It has been specified. So we have what we call English, language, activities. Then on the other hand, what we have? Kiswahili, language, all right? So let us get these things right. We have Kiswahili language activities, we don't have Kiswahili. It must be activities. We must have a lot of activities in law primary, all right? So Kiswahili language activities takes 4 lessons per week. And English language activities takes 5 lessons. We also have mathematical activities. How many lessons? How many lessons? 5. Correct. We also have religious education activities. That takes how many lessons? We have 3 lessons per week. Environmental activities takes 4 lessons per week. Creative activities, 7 lessons per week. And the PPI, or RPI, that is Pastoral Program of Instruction, has been allocated 1 lesson per week. When we add all those, it gives us a total of that 1 per week. Let's go to something else. Now, here some additional notes that you must bear in your mind. On curriculum, the learning areas to be plotted on the timetable should be derived from the KICD approved curriculum designs. Alright? The learning areas to be plotted on the timetable should be derived from the KICD approved curriculum design. It's our expectation that all of us are using KICD, you know? KICD approved curriculum design. Don't you people teach learning areas which are not found in the curriculum design? Right? You know, some of the private schools that might not be having enough books might go to to primary schools to borrow books. They are given outdated books. Yeah. That is very wrong. All right. I had one of my colleagues who went to another school and he found a school that was still teaching GIC. You know GIC? You know GIC? And that will be teaching art and craft and music, right? Now, let us get this right. That every learning area must be derived from the KICD approved curriculum design. Number 2, for daily routine, the Basic Education Regulations 2015 provides reporting time for day schools not to be earlier than 7:15 a.m. Let me repeat. The Basic Education Regulations of 2015 provides reporting time for day schools not to be earlier than 7:15 a.m. So it is against the guidelines of the Ministry of Education to have learners waking up at night as early as 3 a.m., as early as 4 a.m. You hear some school buses hooting, you know, around to collect young children to go to school as early as 4 a.m. That is wrong. So if your child is, you are waking up your child as early as 4 a.m., as early as 5 a.m. to go to school, it is very wrong. All right? It's very wrong. So let us adhere to these guidelines of the Ministry of Education. So it should not be earlier than 7:15 a.m. Okay, 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. is class hours. 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. is class hours. And 3:30 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. is co-curricular activities. Alright? So it is very wrong to just go home in the name of your finish your lessons and you want to go home, yet we have art activities that can be done after the class hours. Now, 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. is self-directed activities. That is now for boarding schools. I know some of our schools are our boarding facilities. The Ministry of Education has guided that from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. is what we call self-directed activities. What do we mean by self-directed activities? No? The learners will just do what they like to do, isn't that so? So give them that time, that opportunity to practice, to nurture their talents, and guide them accordingly. 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. is preps time. Preps time, alright? 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. is preps time. So it is against the Ministry of Education to have learners who are reading into the middle of the night. Yeah? As late as midnight, they are reading. just because the exam or the assessment are around the corner. That is very wrong. 9:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. is bedtime. 9:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. is bedtime. And 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. is supervised routine activities. So you can have some activities from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Activities like cleaning, right? Like cleaning, and they can be cleaning their classes, mopping here and there. So we should always have a teacher who is supervising those routine activities. All right, let's talk about the health breaks. Each level has been allocated 2 health breaks in the morning session. Each level has been given 2 breaks in the morning session. So if you have more than 2 breaks, like I told you, it happened in another school, that is wrong. That is not acceptable. The duration of the health breaks for the various levels are different. They are determined by the number of learning areas per day and the duration of a lesson. So when you talk about the health breaks, it really cannot be the same for lower primary and for the upper primary. It is determined by the number of lessons they have per day. The learning institution should therefore make appropriate arrangements on how to manage health breaks for the different levels. Let us talk about creative activities. We have been guided that these learning areas should be plotted, right? Let it be plotted before a break to allow learners adequate time to prepare for the lesson. And colleague teachers, we must teach the creative activities. To most of us who love mathematics, during our time, all the PE lessons and what? Creative arts. I don't remember if we had a creative art. Oh, we had what? Art what? All right? And maybe music. The teachers of math loved to use those lessons because they thought that it was a waste of time going for PE. So it is very wrong. So we want you to teach the creative arts, and we have said that they must be plotted before a break. Now, how do you plot lessons on the timetable? When plotting lessons on the timetable, I think I had said that the committee should ensure that the learning areas with similar skills, knowledge, and concepts do not follow one another. All right? Why are we doing this? This enhances the learner's interest. You know, the interest of the learner must be captured, must be maintained throughout the lesson. Isn't that so? So if you keep teaching learning areas of similar concepts, similar knowledge, it brings what? It brings monotony. All right? Now, the Ministry of Education has also given us what we call exception. Exception. All right? Now listen to the meaning of exception. In areas that experience extreme temperatures, the timetable start times and end times can be adjusted. Listen to that again. Let me repeat. In areas that experience extreme temperatures, the timetable start times and end time can be adjusted so long as the requisite contact hours for learners are maintained. Some of the areas in this country, some of the regions experience very hot temperatures, like northeastern. I understand that the lessons go up to somewhere around midday. We have anyone who has worked in the northern part of Kenya here? We have anyone? All right. Madam, you have worked there. How do lessons run? From what time to what time? Maybe you can come and tell us. We can hear from someone who has such an experience. Just tell us about how lessons are plotted in those areas.
Hello everyone, thank you for the opportunity. So I can say from the place I have in Northeastern, the lessons could run, we run normally from 8:20, but it could be dictated by the weather. Especially there could come a time when there are harsh weather conditions like it's very hot. Even in some parts of the northeastern region, learners could even die due to the high temperature. So at times we could adjust report at around 7:30, then we adjust the timetable. Then once we are through, we just break for lunch. During Eid, that is now religious issues, during Eid, because most of the teachers are fasting, some learners are also fasting, they used to then adjust, so we could break by 11 or 11:30, then until the next day. The whole time, in fact, the military could rule out that now the whole of this month is Ramadan month, so we could just report by 7 and then leave at 11. That is it.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's clap for her. Let's give her a clap. All right. That is it. So the government has given us exception, isn't it? Now we cannot afford to be teaching when the weather is very hot, especially in the northeastern part of this country. Now, we are told that anything can be adjusted as long as we maintain the contact hours. For example, we are supposed to teach 150 minutes per week. Let us say for mathematical activity. That is 30 minutes times 5. That is 150, isn't that so? So if it can be adjusted, but don't touch on the contact hours, all right? It is allowed. We're also asking our teachers, sometimes the weather is not good. I want you to tell me what would happen if it is raining heavily in the morning, and the same rain can extend in the afternoon. And here we must cover the syllabus. What do we do? And you want Mother to tell us. We need to interact. It's raining very early in the morning. Yeah? So what do we do? Lessons are supposed to start at, is it at what time? 8. And by 8, it's still raining. What do we do? Mwalimu, tell us, please. Can you tell us? Give us the year.
I think because of the weather, we can change the time. For example, we may have remaining lessons, we carry forward the lessons so that we can do what was there to be done at that time. So remedial lesson is the best.
All right, Agla. was, let me ask you, please, what do we do? Please, what do we do at certain time? It's raining. It's raining heavily. And we need to start the lesson at 8. Did we say 8? Or 8:20? So what do we do? Please tell us. Let us hear from Madam. Maybe you can stand. After the rain. Is it not going to affect the lesson? Yeah? Now, what do you do? Just discuss among yourselves. What do you do? Make a discussion. Let me give you 1 minute to discuss. What is that? Yes. All right, thank you very much. Just give him a clap. I have another question. Since I don't know your names, is there anybody from Brinton? Oh, I've seen you. Madam Ogusimama. I have this question for you. Listen, everybody. You are on duty, and the school has said that all learners must be in school uniform. Now it is raining a lot, and some of your learners are coming with civilian clothes because of the rain. What are you supposed to do? Let's hear from Madam.
I think because of the weather, we allow them the weathers, the civilian ones, until the weather is okay. Otherwise, you are fine.
Okay. Are you in agreement with her?
Yes.
That we can allow them to wear civilian clothes? Now let us make this discussion. What is supposed to happen? It is raining or it can even be very cold. What are we supposed to do? Will you allow them to come with their civilian clothes?
Yes.
Or you just come back home? Yeah.
They should be clean civilian clothes.
Okay. Okay, suppose they are not clean. You know we don't come from the same family. We come from the same family. Some of the families will not be affording soap and even water. Who knows? Maybe some of the parents live in town and they have to buy water, they have to buy soap, you know. So what are we supposed to do?
You are not
You assume.
but the next time you go to parents,
You assume.
Please tell us. Madam has a very good point. Stand up. Just, what are you supposed to do? Let us listen to that. You know, it is possible that their clothes are not clean. Alright?
so I was saying, for the sake of background issues and the individual differences, with the weather we bear with them, but during the maybe interactions their parents come and parents meeting or anything, you sensitize the parents that they should look for the proper attire. That is, if it's the jumpers or the jackets, at least it's the Caribbean and the color, yeah, school uniform. So that to avoid you, kukuwa na disparities. For example, uko na mtu anatoka from the rich family na mwingine anatoka poor family. Ukisema kila mtu avae jackets from atakuja na the most expensive one, itakuwa na differences. But if you just pass a rule that it should be, if it's green in color, iwe jumper ya green in color, wataenda kutafuta ile inapatikana na itakuwa karibu na uniform for uniformity purposes.
Alright, are we in agreement, Walimu? So we agree that no learner shall be sent home because of not having what? School uniform, isn't that so?
Now talk of that. Talk of that.
Yes,
That's
stand
the
up.
one that is not clean.
Stand up. Stand up, madam.
Hello, teachers. This scenario, the child has come to school and is not putting on the clean clothes. It's my question. What will you do?
Did you hear that
Yes, because
question?
the parents are not from the same background.
Come again.
The parents are not of the same level. The learners come to school with dirty attire. So as teachers, what should we do?
What are you supposed to do? Let us discuss. Yes, madam. Let us listen from.
So for me, I will answer my question. You either teach and go home or you provide.
Madam, amesema yeye teach. Yes, let us listen from this side.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, teacher. Okay. You use the hashtag teach and go as a teacher. And this learner recurs coming to school, or you have several of them. Are you going to provide for all of them? You teach them. Because you either teach and go or provide. Are you going to provide for 30 learners?
That's why you teach and go. That's why you teach and
All right, let us talk about something else. I want us to talk about something else called PPI, Pastoral Program of Instruction. Somebody asked me yesterday, on which day should we teach PPI? Let me pose the same question to you. On which day are we supposed to teach PPI? Somebody is saying Friday, another one is saying any day. Somebody else is saying Wednesday. When are we supposed to teach PPI? We have not been given any specific day, all right? Yes. The Ministry of Education, to the best of my knowledge, has not directed us to teach on a particular day like Friday or Wednesday. It does only say that we should have one lesson per. All right? Yes. Now listen. When we talk about pastoral or religious program of instruction, we have been guided that anybody who is offering the same instruction should be somebody who is recognized. Anybody from a religious faith that is recognized and that is legally registered. All right? Mm-hmm. So don't just go and bring any other person to come and preach to the children or to do any religious activities in school. You know, we are in a country that is very religious, isn't that so? How many prophets do we have in this country? They are very religious. Isn't that so? We cannot say it is one. We cannot say there are two. Isn't that so? We have a lot of prophets. And all those prophets are claiming to have been sent by God. Isn't that so? So how can you measure? Is there a way of measuring that this one is coming from God and then the other one? Are you getting me? Yes. So we have been guided that whoever is offering religious activities in school is somebody who is known, all right? Somebody who is legally registered. If you don't follow those guidelines, then you can bring any other person who will come and pray for the learners, and they want even to force the learners, all of them, to receive the Holy Spirit and speak in tongues. It is possible in this country, isn't it? So there must be regulation, all right? If we don't do that, the next day you will bring somebody who is going to force all the learners, including the teachers, to be baptized. Can you imagine what will happen if somebody will come and force all of you, I mean to go to the river to be baptized? You will be taken to court. All right? So let us endeavor to do the right thing. Or someone who will just come and begin doing religious gymnastics, they want to come and chase out demons from the students and even the teachers. So we are not strangers in this country, isn't it? The other time we were told that we have a Jesus in a place called Tongaren. Did you hear that? Yes. How many of us are coming from Tongaren? I think we have a Jesus there. And we also have we also have a Jehovah, some Jehovah Wanyoni. Is it from Tongaren again? But there's another one here? Yes. Again in Western? Yes. So, can you imagine you bring such a person to school to preach and they want to take you to heaven? Then the learners go home and tell their parents, we have God in our school, or we have Jesus Christ. So let us be guided, isn't that so? All right. Now, as I end, I want to talk about parental empowerment and engagement. Parental empowerment and engagement. Learning institutions should create opportunities for information sharing and involvement of parents and guardians in the implementation of the curriculum. Every learning institution should create opportunities for information sharing and involvement of parents and guardians in the implementation of the curriculum. Parents have a right to know what is taking place in school. So talk to your head teachers. If you think that there is an area where you need to involve parents, all right? So that the parents will be called to school to share information with them. When this CBC began, I was a teacher by then. And we were accused by the public of asking learners to bring chickens, bring eggs, for experiment in the name of CBC. I think that thing happened. Sinyi wale mulikula sana. Hata viazi, watu walikula. So if there is anybody who was living in the school compound, I think they had to cut their budgets. Sasa angeambia watoto ulete mayai tufanye experiment. Ulete avocado tufanye nini? Ulete ndizi tufanye nini? Experiment. And the parents were wondering, what is wrong with these teachers? They have taken all our chickens. Alikuwa anasema kuleta jogoo yule ambaye amenona. Syllabus imesema kwamba kuleta nini? Because we need to teach you how to do it, how to cook. So we have been guided that if there is anything, we should call the parents for a discussion. Isn't it? Share the information with them. Now, what are we supposed to do after the lessons on the timetable? I mean, after the learning areas, are we supposed to go home? Are you supposed to go home? We have what we call non-formal activities. Just write that. Non-formal activities. What are these non-formal activities? The timetable committee shall block specified non-formal programs after class activities as from 3:20 to 4:45 p.m. These non-formal activities may include games, clubs and societies, guidance and counseling, and community service learning. It can also include ICT lessons. They can be plotted after the lessons. Right? Of course, we don't expect you to take children out for games as early as 9 or as early as 10. And that is very wrong. So all those non-formal activities can be done after the class activities. I mean after the learning areas which are being plotted on the timetable. Now, I want us to make, as I now end, I want us to draw a sample timetable for grade 1 to 3. And then we will end our lesson.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I have a question right now.
Maybe you can, we can have the questions after this. Just, we will have time for questions. What did we say is here? From 8:20 to 8:50. No, not from 8:20 to 8:50, from 8 to 8:20. From 8, from 8 to 8 to 8:20. That is every day. What do we have? We have head check, roll call, and assembly. Right? Okay, 8:20 to 8:50, we can have indigenous language. This is just a sample of indigenous language. After indigenous language, all right, we can have creative activities. And then we have help break for how many minutes? 10 minutes. After that, we can have English language. English language activities. We can have from 10 to 10:30 mathematical activities. So if you are writing, you can write. And after mathematical activities, we can have help break. That is from 10:30 to 11. You can have a help break of 30 minutes. Then from 11 to 11:30, we can have religious education activities. I just from 11 to 11:30, we can have religious education activities. From 11:30 to 12, we can have environmental activities. It's from 11:30 to 12. And then, just don't copy this one. And at 12:30, we can break for lunch. Of course, we can explain that later. Line break. As from 12:30. Let's go to Tuesday. In the morning, we can have Kiswahili language. Of course, after health check and health check and roll call and assembly. After Kiswahili, we can have mathematical activities. After short break, we can have English language activities. Then we can have creative activities. Then we have help break again for 30 minutes. Then after that, we can have indigenous language. After indigenous language, we can have creative activities. That is 11:30 to 12. Then at 12:30, we can have lunch break. That is on Tuesday. This is just a sample timetable. Let's go to Wednesday. Our first lesson can be English language. The second one can be religious education activities. Then we have health break. After health break, we can have mathematical activities. After that, we can have creative activities. Then we have another health break there. We can have Kiswahili language activities. Finally, before lunch, we have environmental activities. Do not forget that whatever we have in grades 1, 2, 3 are activities. Right? So there must be a lot of activities at that level. Let's go to Thursday in the morning. We can have mathematical activities. And then followed by creative activities. And let us get it right, Walimu, that there is no rule that says that mathematics must be there in the morning. It can be balanced. Some days it can be in the morning, and also other days it can be later, all right? So there is no rule that says mathematics must be taught in the morning. We must balance the subjects, isn't that so? We must balance the subject. And there is nothing like the mathematics is difficult. Who say that? Who say that mathematics is difficult? I know another student who came to me, and I was guiding him to choose a course in the university. And when I looked at how that boy had done in KCSE, I can tell you that he had a clean A in mathematics, he had a clean A in physics, chemistry, biology, geography, and surprisingly, he had an E in agriculture, and he had a D minus in CRE, and you know, all those subjects that you normally call, what do you normally call? Boosters. Then I talked to this boy and I said, hey, how could you fail in CRE and do so well in physics? Yet physics is difficult. And he asked me, ulisikia wapi? Then, who told you that physics is difficult? He said, agriculture and CRE is very difficult. That's what he told me. He said, I cannot even differentiate between 12 disciples of Jesus Christ or 21. Most of the time he thinks that he has had 21 disciples. So there is no rule that says mathematics should be taught in that. Right? Now, we were on which day? Which lesson now? So after our health break, we can have, that is Thursday, environmental activities. After that, we can have Kiswahili language. And then we have now the main break. After that main break, we have English language activities. And finally, creative activities. Let's come to Friday. Friday. As from 8 to 8:20. Alright? That is now here, outside. We have PPA. Yes, outside. Just in this column of health check and roll call. So we have PPI. You know PPI, is it a learning area?
Yes.
Yeah? Is it one of the learning areas? Alright, so we have that PPI there. Alright? Remember we had 30 lessons plus 1. And this one is what? PPI, is that so? So we have PPI there. Then from 820 to 850 now is English language. 850 to 920 environmental activities. Then we have a break. After the first break, we can have Israeli language. After that, we have creative activities. Then we have the main break. Then we have mathematical activities. And finally, we have religious education activities. So if you count, I want you to sit down and count all those learning areas, compare with the allocation that has been given. You will find that it is balanced. Every learning area has been allocated its lessons appropriately. So teachers, that marks the end of my presentation. I'm asking all of us, when we get back to our schools, let us check our timetables again. All right, teachers? Go and check your timetables again. If there is anywhere that needs to be corrected, correct it with immediate effect. Thank you so much. God bless you. Outside the camera. About the ending time. That the lessons are ending at 2:35. I am in agreement with you. The lessons are ending at 2:35. I won't agree with you if you go home at 2:35. That is one thing that I won't agree with you. We have the school hours. Even if you go to the bank, you could have business hours. You also have office hours, even in our offices. We are supposed to be in our offices as early as 8. And we should be out at 5, isn't it? So whether I have one to do or not, I am not supposed to leave the office. It is a public office, isn't it? Likewise to the school. It is a public institution, isn't it? Even if you are working in a private school. So I don't mean that you should have your own guidelines. I've said that I won't agree with you if you have to go home at 2:35 because we have the non-formal programs. Isn't that so? What time will you have clubs and societies? Yeah? What time will you have guidance and counseling? And who say that we are not supposed to guide and even counsel those young boys and girls? Things like when you are going home, you don't fight. You know, about even safety, crossing the road. All right. So we have a lot of business to do after classes, clubs and societies, and guidance and counseling. What I say? I am not getting you.
Our learners, they have left school by 12:30. So sisi wengine sasa tunakuwa tunafanyia nani grandsons?
Why are you sending them home?
They not in Rwanda.
Suppose it is there.
If it's there, it's there. Lakini mahali ya kulala wanakaa
How about other learners?
Let them clear for
How about other learners?
they have the
You know you are a teacher in the whole school. You are not a teacher for your.
The teachers should retain in school. When learners are not there to be taught.
Then the second question, I think I have answered. I think I have answered all the questions. All right. Is there any other question?
He's not fed up.
Pardon?
Mother is not fed up with the answer.
No. It's like Mother wants to go home and Mother wants to go home and
the workload that we hear is so much. What do you want to do?
So they should be in school and the learners are not there.
all right, let's be guided on the school hours. Is there any other question? By the way, it is a serious offense to leave learners alone. There is another school that I visited, and I found it was 3 p.m. There was only one teacher, one PTA teacher in the school. One PTA teacher who was in school, and even the way he was dressed, he was dressed like, I don't know how I can describe it. He had these long trousers, these jeans. What do you call it? Hizi ambazo zimerandarauka. Na kijana alikuwa na nywele ambazo zimesimama. Kinaitwa nini? So this boy was teaching in school. He was teaching English. And he was teaching verbs. No? So I found him teaching, I think grade 7 of the late land. And he was busy. And you say, verbs. Verbs. What are verbs? Verbs are adjectives of time. These are true stories, right? Verbs are adjectives of time. That is why we are insisting anybody who is working in school as a teacher must be trained and registered by the teacher service. So you can imagine somebody. Verbs are adjectives of time. And even his handwriting was very poor. Very poor. So, are we teaching or cheating? Are we teaching our learners? Cheating is an answer. So let us be guided. Any other question? Yes, Marim.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Let's listen to Marim.
We have the issue of lower primary school. And if a school has a plan for the children in lower primary to come back in the afternoon, is it wrong?
All right.
Is it wrong to come back in the afternoon? Go for lunch, then they come back.
Okay. Somebody can answer me that
Then
question.
I have another question again. You have said the time is limited for lower primary. But nowadays, in schools, we have morning prayers. Do we do away with morning prayers? Because as from grade 4 up to grade 6, they can't very early. Even by 7, they are at school. So what do we do? Do we continue or we stop it?
All right. What do you think? What do you think? Marim is asking about learners coming back in the afternoon. He's asking whether we should stop them from coming back in the afternoon. What do you think? The thing is, now you can tell me what you've been doing in your schools. Are lower primary coming back in the afternoon?
Sometimes, yes,
For the public schools, so it's
In
a
public school?
yeah.
Okay, do we have a school that has learners coming back in the afternoon?
Public,
but not daily. Maybe
So,
days a week.
They are there, isn't that so? So what do you do in the afternoon?
Alimentation.
Of course we have remedial, isn't that so? And when we talk about remedial, it is not really a favor, all right? It is not a favor, even when you read the Teacher Service Commission Act. Remedial lesson is not a favor, but it is a requirement, especially for those learners whom we used to call them what? We used to call them slower, slow learners. What do we call them?
those are
We don't say slow learners. We call them time takers, isn't that so? No order? Those are time takers, isn't that so? No. We cannot call them that. So I wanted to say, something I'm trying to read. About what the Teacher Service Commission Act is saying. Listen to me. A teacher shall not deny learning materials or remedial teaching services to a learner on account of their natural abilities. Let me repeat. A teacher shall not deny learning materials or remedial teaching services to a learner on account of their natural abilities. So remedial lessons is a right of the child. Do not deny them. Don't ask the learners that if you are like our old teachers used to tell us that you are in the era of the old syllabus. We are mekatu kama mama yake. Hakuna tu mahali utafika. Amekatu kama nani? Ama wanasema babake. Hakuna tu mahali atafika. So we have a lot of business to do in school. Don't tell me eti umemaliza kazi and you have nothing to do in the afternoon. By then you have a lot to do. Teachers, we have a lot to do in our schools. This county is a beneficiary of the KP grants. Hope you are aware. The government gave us in the first disbursement, gave us 400,000 shillings. And in the second disbursement, we were given 540,000. We were not given that money because we were doing very well. It's because of the poor performance academically. So don't tell me that it is in order for you to just, release learners to go home. Are they able to read? If I parade your learners here and ask them to read, are they able to read fluently? That one calls for extra work for all of us, right? So let our learners be in class. Let us give them remedial lessons. Let us teach them how to read and how to write. Mwalimu asked about morning lessons. There is no problem as long as learners do not appear in school earlier than 7:15 a.m. What can happen, if they arrive very early in the morning and maybe there is no teacher? There is no teacher in the school compound, and the learners are there themselves. What can possibly happen? They can fight, isn't that so? They can injure themselves. And you know the Ministry of Education is so concerned about the safety of learners, all right? So there must be a teacher in school. And we cannot have learners reporting to school at night, you know? If they are coming at 5, that is night, it is not so. They are coming at 4, it is not. Then, whatever is asking whether, any teacher can over the PPI. By the way, who is supposed to teach PPI? Yeah? Is that true? Do we have syllabus for, curriculum design for PPI? Everything is there in the design, is that true? So just follow what is there in the design, all right? Is there any other question? The program for every class is not the same, is it not so? Even the language, even the language you use in preschool or lower is not the same as the language you use in the upper school, in the junior school, all right? So I think we should not do that. Finally, our timetables should be displayed in all administrative offices and notice boards if they are there in your school and classrooms. Right? Make sure that they are displayed. I went to another school and grade 1 was very far away from the staff room. I think around 200 meters or, just like here. What is the distance from where we are to the staff room? To the head teacher's office? Almost 200 meters, isn't that so? Now, the teacher who was handling grade 1 did not have a personal timetable displayed on the wall of the classroom, So madam every time akishamaliza hesabu anakimbia kuangalia. All right? Akishamaliza English anakimbia kuangalia the next. Then I asked the teacher, why don't you display, yet you have smooth walls? Then she told me, unajua watoto wanararua. Sasa kama watoto wanararua, in other words, you are telling me that your learners are very disciplined. Isn't that so? And there is somebody whom we worked together. He was a head teacher in a private school where I worked. And he always told us that, a class is like the class teacher. I know it doesn't sound well, but is it not true? A class, can you say a class? Can you say a class is like the class teacher? You go to 7. No, let us admit. Then you also say a school is like the head teacher. So you don't have to admit. Yeah? He said a class is a reflection of the class teacher, and a school is a reflection. To some extent, that statement is true. So when you tell me that your students or your learners are tearing down the timetable, you are actually telling me that you have a class that is very indisciplined. And who is now responsible? All right. So thank you so much. Yes. Let us listen to Madam Hassan.
I just have a question. We talk about the grade 3, where we register them for this assessment, this national assessment. When they make grade 3, some could not read or write. And as according to the teacher who to us, the teacher might see this child cannot register. Their parents right now, they are aware that no child should be made to be in that class. And now today the teachers have no knowledge that you see the child is also, they have not yet got the content, let him in retain. Now you know you have fired the teachers now. Because the teacher is feeling that this child should remain in this class, and the parents know they are not supposed. Now, what do we do so that we help this? We help the teacher, we help the child. Because in a class, there must be one, there must be two, who will not make it. What do we do? And also, as teachers, we understand CBE or CBC, it is a transition. Somebody goes with this skill. Now, what do we do? Because now teachers are going to say, no, this one I will not register this one. If the administration force the teacher will feel bad. So what do we do?
All right. You have asked the question. I really need one of you to respond to that. Hope you got it. Alana is in grade 3. They cannot read and they cannot write. Are they supposed to be registered? Or they are supposed to be made to receive that class? Who can tell me? Madam? Can I ask you to stand up?
See? Or you want to
And face the camera. Yes.
You see, as a parent who understands, in the morning you are going through the challenges that you are about the literacy. Why do we have challenges? One of them was about poverty, and sometimes the parent and the teacher don't agree. You see, the bodies of the teacher always is very positive towards the kid and the parent. But most parents look at the age. The parent will tell you, no, this kid is overgrown. The head teacher atataka kusikia mzazi anataka kusema nini. You see, as a teacher, mimi kitu naweza advise mwalimu ni ministry inasema nini, regulation rules inasema nini. Walisema hakuna kurudia. So mimi naweza ongea na mzazi na mtoto of course another ajibu decide. So vile mimi nitampeleka na mzazi wake atakubaliana, mtoto atasaidika. But mzazi kama asasi, unajua anaenda mbele. Akikufikia of course utasema mwalimu, what does the ministry say? Hakuna kurudia. So mimi naweza angalia tu mwalimu, mzazi akikataa, enda kwa administration. Administration itakuwa na right accordingly. Pia administration ikikwambia kusikiza mzazi, mtoto kwa na proceed.
All right, let me give a guidance. We are being guided by the Ministry of Education, forcing learners to repeat because they cannot read or write. It is a very serious offense. Don't try. Don't. You can find yourself in a court of law. Suppose they cannot read, I mean, even after being made to repeat, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. What does they care? You grade 3. So it is very wrong, all right? So teach and
Provided the
Teach them. No. Don't teach and go home. Teach. Do remedial
Right away.
and go. And go. You see that? That is what I'm doing what? Remedial. Don't teach and go home, Mwalimu. Teach. Reteach. Do remedial. Guide. And you can now go. You will have washed your hands. Sawa sawa.